Sam Heughan has definitely made his way into all our hearts with that beautiful face and wholesome personality of his. The Outlander star has been pretty serious in the show, but you'd be surprised to know that H has actually been in a fair share of pretty awkward moments. What do you think we have in store for you all today? Well, let's get into the most embarrassing moments from Heughan's career to find out. BBC interview revelation. Our famed Outlander star, who plays Jamie Fraser in the series, was doing a lot of theatre at the start of his career. Well, acting in the theatre wasn't the only thing he did during one of his performances. What could we possibly be referring to here? When Heughan was invited to a podcast in June 2020 by the BBC, hosts Cassie Gillespie and Rosen Kelly talked to him about a bunch of exciting things. He started the conversation with how he once did this play in Brazil, where he had to dress up as Batman and act in front of a theatre audience. What could go wrong when things are already this weird? Heughan later told the hosts that he flat out farted on stage. Well, he did say it was a wee fart. What really blows our mind is the fact that our handsome hunk acted like it never happened in front of his fellow cast members and the audience. It was so oddly gullible of him. I guess that's why we all love him so much. Awkward interview about the steamy scenes. Most of us claim that we can't stop watching Outlander because of its unique plot, historical setting, and complex themes. But let's be honest, seeing Heughan in those steamy scenes is an excellent motivator as well. However, when asked about his love scenes in Outlander, about how they planned him out, it was definitely adorable but super awkward for our guy. It could not have been a more embarrassing interview for Heughan. In an ABC talk show hosted by Michael Strawn, Sarah Haynes, and Keke Palmer, the show invited both Heughan and his co-star Caitriona Balfe, who shares those love scenes. When Palmer asked Heughan about what goes into making these passionate moments so erotic, he couldn't make eye contact with anyone on the set. He quickly turned to his co-star's side and asked her to please take the question. It didn't help that Heughan was there with Balfe, which made him even more self-conscious about how he should broach the topic of being in intimate scenes with his co-star. They were sitting inches away from each other. While Heughan was clearly shy, this present, wasn't a pretty sight to process. Let that be clear. New York accent attempt. You might not want to admit it, but we love watching Outlander for the brazen Scottish accent. However, that can take a pretty strange turn when you see your favorite celebrity having a go at a different accent altogether. Whenever he gets interviewed by any American talk show host, you guys can't even imagine how awkward it was for Heughan to try a New York accent. He started with phrases from The Godfather, and then tried to change that elegant nuance in his voice to a more brusque variation. This attempt was completely comical. We could understand why he looked into the camera when he realized he had made a complete fool of himself. We have to admit, Heughan is very easy to love, regardless of his very bad attempt at a New York accent. In all honesty, even though he butchered the accent, the man just needs a little bit of practice, and he'll do well. The uncomfortable moment with Heughan and his mom. This one definitely tops the list because Heughan was not only embarrassed, but we would say he was definitely scarred for life. Heughan's mother happened to be in the audience during one of his plays. She sat in the first row, and she was not ready to see her son in what was about to go down. Heughan had to be in a very compromising position in front of his mother, and the awkward part. He was butt naked. Why would he ever need to do that? It was because he needed to have a very intimate scene in that play. His mother, watching him do it live, was definitely the most embarrassing moment of his life. Heughan and his mom needed to iron things out after this incident. However, sharing this story with fans shows how transparent and secure a person he is. Why are there so many reasons to love Heughan? Well, it's because H is genuinely a lovely person who wouldn't hurt a fly. The pandemic holiday controversy. This one will definitely knock your socks off. Our charming lad did have to power through a minor media frenzy. Heughan had gone to Hawaii before the travel ban during the pandemic. Unfortunately, he could not return from the trip. The problem was that his Instagram was too out there, and it stirred people up. Heughan was on holiday while the entire world was in a pandemic. This place wasn't exactly an ideal position to be in. Let's start here. What could have possibly gone wrong? A Twitter hashtag started going viral, #AskSamHeughan, which made the situation somewhat awkward for Heughan, even when he responded calmly to the controversy. Other interesting details. Now you all must be wondering, these worst of his embarrassing moments don't even throw an ounce of dirt on him. It's just because Heughan is a pretty chill guy with the face of a Greek god. But if you're still interested in learning more juicy details about the actor's personal life, keep watching. Who is Sam Heughan dating? Sam Heughan's Instagram might give you every detail of his life, but when it comes to who H is dating, our guy is a pretty private person. As of right now, he hasn't made any serious commitment with anyone, or at the very least, he's definitely not involved with any of his celebrity friends. In 2018, Us Weekly reported that Heughan was dating actress Amy Shields. But clearly, that didn't work out, because there hasn't been much buzz between these two parties lately. The sole focus of Heughan is on his acting career, and as his fans, we should appreciate that. What could be said about Season 6 of Outlander? We only have to wait a few months before Season 6 is out for the world to see, and we can finally have a good look at Heughan and the finesse of his acting skills on full par. A substantial delay caused a lot of emotional distress for all the fans, cast, and crew because many of the scenes had to be reshot, which meant that production would take a long time and, hence, the release date needed to be pushed to 2022. The delay is definitely sad for many of you guys, but don't you worry. Just start binging a lot of the older episodes because they'll keep your love for Heughan charged, and they're a good old comfort show to turn back to whenever you feel overwhelmed. Production is wrapped up on Season 6, which is great, because the final product will be impeccable and ready to watch after some stages of the editing phase. We can't wait for the new season to come out and see Heughan's character development. What other projects has Heughan worked on? We can't wait for Season 6 of Outlander to come out in early 2022. But until then, let's see how Heughan is planning to keep himself busy. There seems to be a fair share of other interesting things that Heughan is working on, as an actor, brand ambassador, philanthropist, activist, and writer. This man definitely can manage a lot of things. In 2021, Heughan had been busy producing his documentary, which explores his Scottish roots and ancestry. The series is called Men in Kilts, a road trip with Sam and Graham. This project came out in February 2021 and was praised by many critics. Clearly, Heughan has both acting and producing chops because he definitely left the audience in awe of his sheer talent. Not to forget, at the beginning of 2016, Heughan was chosen by Barbour to be their brand ambassador. It was Barbour's first global brand ambassador, which meant that he was introducing a UK-based brand to the world. Clearly, he was the right man for the job, because who would not want to look at his perfect face? He also designed several collections for Barbour. Of course, it didn't stop there. Heughan also launched his whiskey brand in 2020, founded by the Great Glen Company. He called this new whiskey brand the Sassenach. The Sassenach is available all over the UK and can be purchased in some states of the US as well. He has also strongly supported causes for treating testicular cancer and raising money for charity. Heughan is also a very talented writer. His book was #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list. It's called Clanlands, Whiskey, Warfare, and a Scottish Adventure. That's a wrap for the most embarrassing moments throughout Sam Heughan's career we had to share with you in this video. Which of these moments caught you off guard? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more of these videos. We'll see you next time.